All right, folks, welcome back to another edition. As always, we got the big man on the ones and twos. What's up there, Big Rob?
What's going on, Tom?
Not much, man. To be honest, I feel like Walter White right now. We have a bit of a situation. My allergies have been on 100 level since last week's episode. I'm sure you recognize the sniffles and the sneezes. Yeah. So believe it or not, wearing sunglasses helps. I don't know why. I would assume it has to do with something with squinting in your eyes and that making you sneeze. So bear with
for you those that don't watch the YouTube video, he's got a bucket hat on and sunglasses. It's quite the look.
Correct. And my garage door is open. The sun is not penetrating through, but I'm telling you, it just helps. To be honest, I can't wait to jump in the pool after this because although it's pretty cold, it's going to help.
I mean, you got a summer vibe going on right now.
Yeah, and I apologize. It just, this is what we got to do in order to make it work. But
you're in a safe tree.
Yeah, nonetheless, we're here. We're rocking and rolling. How was your weekend there, Rob?
It was good. Watched some golf. Didn't play any. Did a lot of stuff around the house outside. But yeah, watched some golf. Enjoyed it. Enjoyed the weather besides the rain late Sunday. But it was good. How about you?
Give me good weekend. Got a lot done. Same, just kind of did things around the house, caught golf. Give me your thoughts on the Tour Championship. Let's recap that.
Yeah. Man, I thought Thursday, Friday, was good. And I thought Xander was just doing Xander things there. Man, I thought he was honestly going to win the whole damn thing. Saturday, caught bits and pieces. Like I said, I was doing some stuff outside with the deck. I didn't even notice it was on a weather delay, to be honest with you. And then I checked and I saw that they weren't playing. And then Scotty firing out, Sunday morning. I thought he just had it in the bag and choke job for, the fourth round. That was crazy. But Rory, dude, that was awesome. Just the energy. That putt on 15 was huge. I headed on outside in the garage, working, trying to watch through the window. I heard the fucking yelling, and I was like, holy shit. So I ran back and started watching. It was just like texts were blowing up. It was like, oh, here we go.
Right. That putt was deceiving too. The angle that they had, like the front angle, it looked like it was pretty straightforward, but then they showed like around the back and how it's downhill left to righter. That thing was tough.
Yeah.
He definitely had some speed on it too. But yeah, that was definitely the changing moment. Scheffler, I would assume his butt kind of puckered a little bit there.
Yeah, right.
That's when things started to get interesting.
Right.
And then, for him to take a bogey on 17 and be one back, I'm sure he was thinking about, oh shit, I got Rory on the tee with me, him breathing down my throat. I'm now down one. I'm what do you finish? +3 on the day? +4?
Something like that. I thought it was Shotgun Start talked about it yesterday, but like it was a good point Andy made where you think about it. What if he didn't play with, if he wasn't with Rory in the final group, but that could have been a huge difference maker there.
Absolutely.
But,
speaking of, so before we finish up on that, what are your thoughts on just the format of the Tour Championship?
I mean, obviously there was some drama this weekend, but I don't care for it. I don't care for starting 10 under, 8 under, and so
better, I would say, this year.
Sure.
In the long run, I don't know who's going to have the better career, especially with, live guys, if they're actually going to have access to the majors. You could look at it from both sides, but no matter what, losing Rombo is a huge blow.
Yeah. I mean, but we were talking to Hideki, turning down that $400 million is just, I mean, that's insane too with that market. But you got to respect his decision,
For sure. I wonder, if he stays in talks and communication and, potentially, because you got to think Hideki would be the guy, right? For that all Japan thing.
Oh, yeah.
So in order to get him, I'm sure they're just going to keep upping their dollar. So I'm not sold. I think I'm kind of sold on Cam Young's stand. Being a guy from the U.S., I could see Hideki kind of going back to the drawing board and saying, okay, well, if that number is now 500 million, sure, I'll go.
Yeah.
So I think he could be swayed.
Yeah, later down the road for sure.
Right. I mean, it's kind of a different situation. The U.S. team is kind of already set with DJ and Brooks. You know, they're basically saying, "Hey, Hideki, this is your team. You know, you're going to run this team. You're going to have, you know, the capability to own and operate the Japan team just like a business, etc." So, yeah, I'd be curious to see, you know, what happens in the next couple months. Speaking of, when do you think the next big wave is going to take place?
I don't know if there's going to be another big wave. I think it's going to be onesie twosies here and there. You know, I just like looking on Twitter and like, again, listening and reading some stuff. It's what happens to the guys that are over there and now the 6 guys that are going to get kicked off, you know, that aren't playing in the Boston event. You know, it's like, obviously, they're probably getting paid, right? You know, part of their contract, but that kind of sucks. Where else are they going to have to go over to Asia Tour and play a little bit? You know, it's just like, you kind of risk all that money, then potentially not be able to play golf, you know,
right.
Again, over here at least, and then you'd have to go travel. It's kind of silly.
Yeah, I mean, the PTO is pretty good there, though. You know, we talked about before. I think it was like what 120 just to be on the roster. They're getting paid.
Yeah, but those guys that are taking the 120 that love golf and love competing for golf, you know, they can't compete in the tournament.
Right.
You know, what if that's it for the rest of the year? You know, they're done.
No, I hear you. I would think they would have to go over to, you know,
Asia Tour.
Yeah. 1,000%.
Yeah. So
speaking of majors, Rob, that concludes the year for the CGT in terms of majors. We are officially done with majors, and now it's all business.
Everybody's in event 10 playing to get in the playoffs. Here we go.
Yep. Now we're in the home stretch here. Gotten a lot of emails just about, you know, how the playoffs work. You know, just a lot of inquiries. Guys seem fired up. So it's good to see. I mean, like you said, we're finishing up event 10 here this week. You guys are in event 10.
Yep.
After that, you know, there's a cut made after the 10th event. Move on to the playoff. There's another cut made, and then it's championship day, Rob.
Yeah. But again, for the playoffs, as we talk about it, you know, you're a tester. It has to be someone you haven't played with. All right. Just like the majors, it has to be someone new that has not attested your score for your playoffs round.
This is correct, Rob. Speaking of, I was going through the Open Championship from the North and West Side Tour last night. You know, getting the winners, sending payouts. I had to wipe 9 scores, Rob. 9 scores between 2 tours because guys did not use a new attester. And this has been ongoing. So to Rob's point, especially for the playoff, it's in the email. If you don't have a new attester for the playoff, you're automatically DQ'd from the playoff and championship. So you got to play with somebody who is not attested to your score for the year. That doesn't mean you got to play with just some random guy. You could still have your typical group with 1 or 2 of your buddies, but you got to bring in a new player, a new set of eyes for the playoff. So just keep that in mind. Speaking of DQs, Rob, did you see this story that Ryan French put out about the wildest DQ in Q school history?
So I saw his tweet. I didn't click on it. And then I saw you comment on the tweet. I'm like, all right, I got to read it now. And I read it late last night. And it's pretty nuts. It's really nuts. Like first to claim all those aces is just mind-boggling. Man, like even if you did that, I would not claim it.
Yeah.
Like I would, because there's no way someone could believe that you had, what did he say, 36?
36 hole-in-ones, and like 8 of them were on par 4s.
Yeah, right.
And there's only technically 1 recorded ace on a par 4 in the history of the PGA Tour.
Yeah. So it's like, I've seen one in person. It was pretty cool, actually.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It was awesome.
It wasn't yours on the wrong hole, was it?
No. It was like, I think it was just over 300 yards, and it was in a scramble. And yeah, he fucking nutted it and dead straight at the pin and see it land, roll up, and then we couldn't see it anymore. We got up there and it was sure as shit sitting in the hole.
Wow.
Yeah, it was awesome. But anyways, yeah, this story is just nuts. And then like, I always find it funny when people try to speed up and walk ahead of other people.
Yeah.
So anyways, but yeah, it was a funny story.
So did you catch his podcast about it?
I did not. I wanted to listen to that next.
So I caught part 2 last night. It's really good. It's quite interesting. It's real shady. Part 1 is the playing partner that was in the group. He kind of explains the situation, how everything went down. For those listening, we've talked about Ryan French before, Monday qualifier, works for the Fire Collective. Go check out the story, man. It's on his Twitter at Monday Q. It is absolutely insane. It's crazy. I mean, we're talking about a Q school qualifier,
a pre-Q. Yeah, right.
Yeah. Yep. Well, yeah, it is a pre-Q school qualifier, but the guy, he's kind of known to be a pencil whipper.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't necessarily,
like that pencil whipper.
Yeah, they couldn't necessarily prove it. It came down to the rules official and the spotter that was there the day of where this supposed lost ball went. They jumped in a cart, went back out there. The rules official then pulls the ball out of his pocket, and it ended up being the guy's ball that has his markings on it. Like it's crazy. Moral of the story: the guy got DQ'd, and then Ryan kind of breaks everything down, does his piece, with reporting. He kind of broke everything down, didn't take a side, just wanted both sides of the story, and then be able to have the listener kind of make their decision from there. And it, like I said, it's bananas.
Because he interviewed the actual guy too, right? Or no?
Yeah, that was part 2.
Okay.
But for the guy's caddy to say, who knows? Maybe it hit that pack of turkeys and right. Like, what? And then they took a video, like during a round, not an ace, during the Q school round. Ryan's like, well, why would you take a video? Like, nobody ever does that. That's a little suspicious. And then like the whole thing is crazy. So I would highly recommend going to read this story, listen to the podcast. The Grind is the podcast, and it is super good. Again, Ryan said that he was up till 1 in the morning, both nights. He said it just got weirder and weirder. But anyhow, moving on, Rob. Before we jump in the top 3, Rob, let's talk about last week's. You mentioned Tiger and Rory, with the TGL. I think there was, on my part, I had no idea what it was. Had time to look into that. I was way off. So this is more of like a gaming platform. And yeah. So if you guys haven't heard yet, Rory and Tiger are unveiling basically a 3-versus-3 simulator series that's
Monday night series
on Monday night, which is preposterous. So they're going to compete with Monday Night Football. Is that correct?
I guess. I mean, I just depending on where it's at. I don't know if it's in the beginning of the season or whatnot. Or did they say? I didn't read.
I don't know. I don't know dates, but
yeah,
for those who are unfamiliar, this thing looks crazy. It's an indoor. It's basically a giant. Not even. It's an arena. Think like gladiators, and then think of crazy fans and graphics, and it's going to be essentially a 3-versus-3 of guys hitting it into a simulator.
Yeah. I want to know, because if you look at the renderings, they have a full green in the middle, right? And they have sand traps, and they have. So are they going to do the whole their driver iron shots, approach shots are into the screen, and then they sit there and they chip and they putt on this actual green that's in the center? I mean, it was the renderings were absolutely crazy looking.
Crazy. It reminds me of basketball. The movie Basketball is unbelievable.
It's a great movie. Absolutely great movie. I can't stand South Park, but I love that movie.
I'm 100% in the same boat. I just can't get with. I mean, this has to be, kind of not a last ditch effort, but hey, let's try something new to engage with younger fans who are, more into the gamer tech. It has to be. I mean,
I can't see what player would be excited to actually do that.
Can you imagine the pitch going into like a meeting and pitching it? I would be like, what?
I did love your tweet about bring back Big Break, because I agree with you. I would rather see the money go to that and watch that than watch this simulator golf. I mean, I like playing a simulator, but I don't want to watch somebody else playing the simulator.
No, absolutely not. And I mean, I may watch the first,
you have to.
Episodes. Yeah. Right. But like, even with the match, like I watched the first couple of matches, right? And then after that, like I didn't put it on my schedule or like, find time to watch it. Like if it was on, sure, I caught it.
Sure.
Wasn't pumped about it. I mean, I'm not going to be like, yeah, hey, Monday night, I got to go watch TGL.
Right.
That's crazy. It's mind boggling to me. But who knows,
I can't imagine a full arena for that.
Right.
Is it going to be like, you remember, well, you probably don't remember, but like when DSL played a game at Comiskey, we got to play, usually it was like Rita or something like that. The outfield would be blocked off, but you only could be on the, first and third base lines. Right. Is it going to be the same thing for that?
I don't know, man. I mean, they have to know something in terms of like, especially with Tiger's new game with 2K.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, I get that side of it. Mm-hmm. I think that's a whole different demographic. But if they're trying to pull, younger guys who are kind of more into the gaming world or scene, then yeah, I guess it's a good play. But again, I'm sure they're not going to just invest a ton of dollars into something they haven't done any kind of market research on. So there's got to be something to it. I was blown away. Once I saw it, I'm like, this is crazy. Like who the F is going to watch this?
I guess my other question is that live?
I believe it is live. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe they'll have a slime factor.
And how do you bet on that? It's a fucking simulator.
I don't know. No idea. No idea.
I mean, could you have fantasy golf for it too? It's all this crap, right?
Right. Speaking of movies, Rob, that's going to bring us right into the top 3.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we got a good one.
All right.
I want to know your top 3 favorite comedy movies.
I love Dodgeball.
Yep.
So I'm going to go Dodgeball 3-hole. Okay. I mean, Vince Vaughn plays the same character and everything, but I just love him to death. Did you know he was in Rudy?
I did not, probably because I turned it off. Not even a quarter of the way through. But what does he play in Rudy?
Oh, I see. I think he's the quarterback.
Is he really?
I believe, but he is in Rudy. Anyways, so Dodgeball 3-hole. God damn. Old school. Always have to go old school. I love old school. 2-hole.
Awesome.
But my favorite one is Super Troopers. I'll quote that all day long. Love Super Troopers.
Super Troopers is a gem.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, there's so many. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Anchorman, but yeah, I would have to say Super Troopers. I love Harold and Kumar, White Castle.
Oh yeah,
that's an honorable mention for me. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of them I'm forgetting that people are like, "What the fuck?" Oh, I mean, The Hangover. Got to go with Hangover, honorable mention. But yeah, those are my top 3. What about you?
Nice. 3-hole. I'm going with a very, very underrated Me, Myself, and Irene.
Really?
Unbelievable movie. A lot of one-liners. That movie would not be made today.
Oh, no. I mean, a lot of that stuff wouldn't.
Yeah. I mean, hysterical.
Okay.
I think it's one of Jim Carrey's best movies, to be honest, in terms of comedy.
Sure. No, I mean,
he's unbelievable. Super funny. Number 2, I'm going to go Beer Fest.
Oh, fuck.
Beer Fest.
Oh, love Beer Fest. I mean, you guys know Super Troopers. Love Beer Fest.
Right. It was either
Broken Lizard
and Beer Fest. There was probably a couple other ones. And then number 1, the GOAT, Dumb and Dumber.
Really?
Yeah. What do you mean, really?
Can't stand Dumb and Dumber.
You can't stand it?
Can't stand it. I won't watch it through. I can't stand it.
Can you explain further, please, to the audience?
I just don't like it. I can't. I mean, I could never sit through and watch the whole thing.
Because of, does like Jim Carrey bother you?
Jim Carrey, I mean, no, I think he's good. Some things I don't like, but I just couldn't ever get into it. Did not like it.
I mean, I know that movie like by heart. But to your point, I'm the same way with like Caddyshack. Can't watch Caddyshack because of
I love the Beer Fest pool though. That's a great movie. I think I was a junior in college when that came out. I think I saw it maybe 2 or 3 times in the theater down at Eastern. It was great.
It's a great one. There's a lot of like, what's his name? Who was in School of Rock? Jack Black. Like
School of Rock's good. Yeah, I like that movie.
No, I don't like it. I'm saying like Jack Black is a guy who like just bothers me. I can't watch any of his movies.
Really?
Yeah, he tries too hard. You could just tell he's trying.
Like Shallow Hell? You didn't like Shallow Hell?
I think Shallow Hell is actually hilarious.
Okay.
I'll give you Shallow Hell. I do like Shallow Hell. Other than that, I just think he's a little, he just tries a little too hard. I like the guys who are just witty and it kind of rolls right off.
Speaking of Broken Lizard, did you ever get into Tacoma FD, the TV show?
Who?
Tacoma FD. It's the guys from Broken Lizard. It's fucking hilarious. I think there's only like 3 seasons of it, but I'd highly recommend it.
What is Broken Lizard?
The guys that did Super Troopers and Beer Fest. That's what they call the group. That's their production group.
Gotcha. It's called Tacoma FD.
Yeah, it's on True TV. I think it's 3 seasons long. The actual the blonde from Yellowstone, the one that's the rodeo girl. Yeah, she's in it. It's pretty good.
Is it like a kind of a spinoff of the cop show that used to be on Comedy Central?
Yeah. It's like exactly. It's I'm gonna say it's the bigger guy farmer or whatever, and then the little guy, and they've had, I believe, the Broken Lizard like sometimes guest star on it and stuff like that, but it's really funny.
I will
check it out.
I will definitely check that out. But until next time, Rob, we'll see you in the fairway, guy.
See you in the fairway, Tom.
See you, buddy.